Hello, everyone, and welcome to Nails and Beauty Talk. I am your host, Asia the Bird. To have a very special guest with me today, she is a nail artist and the owner of Britt's Nail Bar. Please welcome Britt Higgins. Hello, Britt, and welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to go ahead and really get started by asking where you're originally from and tell us about your upbringing.
I'm from all over the eastern half of the United States. I was born in Chicago. It was a very fun place to be a kid. We stayed there till I was probably 9 years old. Then we moved to Southwest Florida to be close to family. We probably stayed there for like 6 or 7 years and then moved to the North Atlanta area, maybe about 30 minutes outside Atlanta. That was a really cool place to be like a young adult. So for sure. We lived there between, I think, the age of like 17 to 25. And then in 2015, I moved to Connecticut with my husband, and we've been here since.
How long you been living in Connecticut?
Since 2015. So what is that? 8 years.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Now, what was like your school experience like in regards to like, like high school, nail school, what was like the school experience like?
High school and nail school were good. High school was a cool experience. I did some of it in Southwest Florida, some of it in like the Atlanta metro. I was always like kind of like artsy student and like math student as well. So like very
Right.
academic, very artsy. I did a little bit of all of it. So I was part of math team. I did ceramics class. I did fashion class, photography. Like you name it. Like I wanted to do all the creative electives, and I
Right.
love that. So and then I did some college on and off here and there. I thought I wanted to be a math teacher, and decided against it. And then nail
Hmm.
school, I went in 2017, and
Right.
it was like super, super minimal. And back then, licensing was not even a thing in Connecticut, which it was like
Hmm.
the only one in 50 states that wasn't even requiring it, which is like so
Mm.
crazy. But it
Wow.
was 100 hours. We didn't really learn that much. And I mean, I don't mean it like that, but like we learned like sanitation,
Right. Hmm.
like the bare minimum, like not how to do like good nails. So it was all right.
Hmm. Yeah, and add on to that, I took cosmetology courses in my high school, and a small sector is nails. So, there again, like how you said, I understood what you meant. Like it wasn't like you didn't learn anything, but you just didn't learn into a depth in regards to like different nail styles, different nail shapes, and how to do different nail shapes, going in depth about gel and acrylic and stuff like that. So
Mm-hmm.
that's how what it was with when I took cosmetology courses. Like, we learned acrylic, but it was kind of okay, how to do acrylic on a nail to pass. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, you kind of you do learn sanitation, nail disorders and diseases, the skin and anatomy, and those
Mm-hmm.
things are very, very important. But,
Obviously. Yeah.
but you're not equipped in regards to going out into the industry.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something that I think, nail schools and beauty schools could work on more, is just being more in depth about things, especially just different trends and styles and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to really go ahead and really ask you, like, who or what exposed you to nails?
Well, I grew up a tomboy, so I was not even really a nail painter until I was like in my young 20s. And it wasn't even necessarily the nail community that got me into nails. It was my mother-in-law who showed me like back in the day the Sally Hansen like peel and stick
Hmm.
polishes. And I was like, oh cool, those are mess free. I don't have to paint in the lines. It'll, like whatever. It's so easy.
Right.
So I started to get into those. And then I was like, I wonder if I could just paint these myself. So I started to build like slowly, like a really small collection of nail polishes. And then one of my friends bought me stamping plates. So I was like, okay, I'm like a little baby nail artist now. Pinterest had just come out. So I was like pinning how to do like the makeup sponge ombre.
Right.
And I wasn't really into like the nail community yet because it was like 12 years ago. I didn't really know where to find nail community. So it was just like
Mhm.
me as a hobbyist for the longest time.
Mm. Yeah, absolutely. So I want to switch gears and talk about your salon, Britt's Nail Bar. So you have your own nail salon, and it's the number one salon in Connecticut, as well as in the top 100 of modern salon on the modern salon list. So tell us your experience of having your own salon, but also to tell us about the obstacles that you faced possibly in regards to building and developing your business.
Yeah, so I love having my own business. Like, it is a labor of love. And when I first started out, it was literally just me. I didn't know anybody. There was no local nail community for me to, go work at. A lot of salons
Mhm,
in like my area are like they didn't really want me to be part of their team.
mhm,
So I was kind of like all on my own. So I started my business, just me and myself, right after nail school. There was no one in person to really like ask questions to or ask help with. Like when
right,
I would have clients like come back with like broken nails or
mhm,
like lifting or like
mhm,
popping off, and I'm like, well, like
right,
what am I doing wrong? And like really no one to help with. So my clients
mm,
would keep coming back because like we were having a good time. I would fix everything for them every single time, like no questions asked. So like I'm really lucky that my clients would still come back to me. And
mhm,
then I wound up like learning a whole lot through advanced courses, through like nail conventions and things like that. So I eventually
right,
like did get better, but like it was a
mhm,
struggle at first. And I
right,
was like, oh my God, and like, should I even be doing this? And
mhm,
now there's like a whole team of us, and it feels really good to be in a place to like the ladies who rent for me at my salon, like be able to be that person to be like, well, maybe you're having issue because of XYZ, and like
right.
be that person for them. When I was like, I wish I had someone, back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Do you feel like the nail scene in Connecticut is very underrated?
Um, Maybe. I mean, Connecticut's a lot of suburbia with like two semi bigger cities.
Mm,
We are like considered part of the New York Metro. Underrated.
mm,
I don't really think when people think of Connecticut, they're like dope nails. Like, I don't think that's a thought that crosses anyone's mind, to be honest.
right,
But
yeah,
like, we have a good like couple handfuls of like really cool artists in our state. But also like not like the highest demand for like a ton of
right,
nail art. Definitely elevated services. Like people love elevated services, but like
right,
even my clients, I would say like 30% of my clients are like classic, like they call themselves like basic nail girls, but like they just want good work. So like
right,
I do quite a few of like single color applications. So is it underrated? Maybe, but there is
mhm,
not like that much in our state. So like a small
mhm.
state.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to go ahead and switch gears and talk about Nails Let's Top Nail Artists. So you competed in NTNA and you placed second. So you was in the top three and you won second
Mhm.
place for NTNA. So I want to go ahead and really talk about like and ask as well. What was like your experience? What was like your experience in regards to competing in NTNA? But also, what were some things that you've learned during the journey of competing?
I'll start with what I learned. So, being like a salon nail artist and not like a content creator necessarily, like I really have never like sat there and pushed myself to the limit. So to be
Mhm.
chosen was like such a cool blessing because I was like never really pushing myself to see like exactly how far I could go or what I could do.
Right,
And you have to do that if you want to stay in the competition. So like
right,
that was so cool. Like just like learning like, oh my God, I freaking made that when I had never really done anything nuts before. That was the best learning experience. But it was really intense. It was like juggling, trying to get these amazing nails done, wondering what everyone else is doing, but like staying in your own lane and also seeing clients full time because like that's my revenue source is like
right.
seeing clients. So it was kind of crazy because I was like blocking off my schedule here and there, like missing out on appointments and revenue just to like keep up with like trying to get these nail done. It was honestly, it was
Mm.
crazy. And by the end, I was like, I was so grateful for the opportunity, but I was like totally burnt out by the end.
Yeah, yeah, I had that same feeling, you know, it
Mhm.
it tires you out, you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah,
And the thing is with the competition is that it is a very rewarding experience where you push how you said, push yourself to the limit and really expand your artistry into higher heights. You know what I
oh
mean?
yeah,
That's what it did for me when I competed in season 8 and things like that. So it really does challenge you and stuff like that.
for sure.
So, you know, and also it helps you get more into like experimentation and stuff like that. So that's
Hmm.
really, really cool about that as well. But one of the sets I really liked about what in terms of you was that it was this octopus set that you did, and it was really, really cool. I really love that set. So I want to also get into like some nail sets that you've done in the season. So what are some like your favorite nail sets that you've done during the season of NTNA?
Um, I honestly, I would have to say the octopus that was like my favorite. Just like sculpting that tiny little octopus and like creating the little tentacles on it, creating the 3D waves. There was just so many cool elements to it that I was just like literally just like having fun. Um,
Mhm.
Another set I did that I really loved was like the element of I did one for like a bodies exhibit kind of style, and I made these teeny tiny organs. Like the heart organ I made for that one was literally the same like dimensions as like a mouse's heart, so tiny. Um, and I was like mad proud of that one. I did
Mhm.
another one with like extra long stilettos, and they were covered in rhinestones. They had like dangling things all from them, including
Right.
like a little blood-filled vial. It was not blood. But those nails also had like piercings along the whole edge, like rivets and like corsetry kind of lays through.
Mhm.
But like I look back and I'm like, damn, like those are cool. Like I don't really make stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, do you feel the same?
Yeah, yeah, I feel the, same way in a certain degree, but, the thing is also too as well, I wanna make stuff like that. You know what
Hmm.
I mean? So, that's the thing that I really like about there again with Internet, it was about experimentation, pushing yourself, but also I went to art school, SCAD, where it taught me also of experimentation and playing with different mediums, so, it really does, boost your interest in making out the box stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So I wanna switch gears and talk about New York Fashion Week. So back in 2018, you did, New York Fashion Week. So I wanna really ask, like, what was it like, and what were some of the things that you learned in regards to doing, New York Fashion Week?
Yeah. I'll start again with what I learned. So I think there is a lot of like clout around working in New York Fashion Week, like someone who maybe doesn't live in the tri-state area or lives across the country. Like it sounds like it's like this amazing, cool thing to do. And it really can be and is amazing, depending on what you're trying to take from it. It's
Right.
extremely fast paced. You don't really
Mhm.
always know what you're doing or showing up for. Like it's intense. Everyone's squeezed into one room. Like it is so
Right.
not like the glamorous work that some people like think it is. But like on the
Right.
flip side of that, like it's so cool meeting other nail techs who are on your team
Right.
or like just like it's a totally different thing than working with clients because you're working with your colleagues and other creative teams to like
Right.
make this whole look happen. And then everyone who's worked on these models, including the designers, whatever, they see their work walking down the runway and like that is kind of like chef's kiss. So um pros and cons, there's a lot of people who ask for like free labor for New York Fashion Week, and there's a lot of like scam artists out there like basically
Yeah.
asking people to pay to participate instead of getting paid to work, like so it's kind of
Right.
wild. But if you kind of know what you're doing and how to navigate like the work, it can be incredibly rewarding.
Yeah, absolutely, and the thing is from what I've heard, it's very, very fast paced.
Oh yeah.
And the thing is, like, when I was in college at SCAD, like, I did 4 years as a dresser for the SCAD fashion show. So it's where, like, you have 20, 30 people from different campuses, whether it's Atlanta, Savannah, I think, at one point it was Hong Kong, and they would showcase their collections, so for this one runway show. So
So
working as a
cool.
dresser, like everything is fast paced, you gotta make sure the models are dressed up and stuff like that. So, I wasn't a nurse, but I was, a dresser. So to really have that sample experience of what it's like, backstage, and it's probably more hectic. I'm sure it's more hectic in New York Fashion Week, so to have that experience, alone is, it's very interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's fast paced. It's very like it's like so crazy, but like when you're done, you're like, "Whew, that was cool." Okay.
Yeah, yeah, right, exactly, absolutely. So I want to also get into products. So what has been some of your favorite products to use for nail art and nail services?
Nail art and nail services. Currently, almost everyone in our salon has clients in the Luminary Nail Systems base. We've been
Mhm,
using it probably since around 2020, very consistently. Just honestly, across the board, like the retention is better than anything we've ever used. And have I used everything? No, absolutely not. But I found something that we truly love. So I'm just like sticking with it for now until I like dabble into some other things. And who knows if I'll like it more, whatever. Um, we do a lot of like the soft gel tips for clients who want to
mhm,
just go straight into length and they don't want like a natural grow out journey. Um, and then for those clients, we actually will fill them too. Like we'll fill the Gel X nails so they can just kind of keep the length, keep them growing out.
mhm,
So those are some of the things that we like love for our core services. Um, as far as nail art, I mean, like, man, we have drawers and drawers of stuff. I do have a favorite nail art company, and I didn't know them when I lived in Florida because I wasn't even into nails, but they're a company called Profiles, and
mm,
they have like everything nail art related, and they are also from Cape Coral, Florida, which I thought was just like
mm,
so crazy and random. Their white is my favorite. They have like black foil glue, like anything nail art you could possibly want, like they have, and it's good. So
mm.
I'm kind of like so loyal to them just because I love their products so much, and I have since I was like literally a nobody, and I found out we were from like one of the same hometowns. So that's like a lot of my nail art stuff. But I mean, there's so much good stuff out there. It's like hard to name
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it's oversaturated with a whole bunch of stuff. 3D gels, soft gels, hard gels,
Yeah.
colored, gel, polishes, different colors. You
Hmm.
got Nail Reserve, you got Madam Glam, you got there's so much stuff. You're like in a kid in a candy store, just
Right.
finding products and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And that's
Hmm.
the same thing with like the nail competition NTNA. They give you a whole ton of products to use. You know what I
Our
mean?
season was not like that. Our season was totally different.
Really?
Yeah, so we were not sponsored by anyone, and so we work with like all of our own products.
Mm.
Um, it was like, from what I understand, like an incredibly different kind of season.
I think I remember that it was different.
Yeah.
Because I thought you would get like because my season, we had a ton of products from C&D that we used.
Hmm.
So that's interesting.
Yeah, I think C&D sponsored I think they sponsored the Scratch Awards.
Yeah, the Scratch World Star Nail Artist.
Yeah, so I think they sponsored that one this past year and not the Nails magazine one.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
gotcha. So I want to go ahead and talk about nail class. So have you been taking like any nail classes and stuff like that? Like, those other things in terms of nail education?
I haven't taken a whole lot in the past couple years, except very recently I took one by Charmed by Sarah. Are you familiar with her work?
Yes.
Okay. So I got to like learn from her, like her charm application and like how she builds different like structural, it's like she just makes nails look like jewels, like
Mhm,
structures of art. And I'm like such a huge fan of like that in her work.
mhm,
So that was like that really got me going creatively. So um that was cool. I haven't taken a lot of like technique courses.
mhm.
Um, but that one particular I took, I think maybe a month ago, and it just like rejuvenated my like creative energy, I guess.
Mm, yeah, that's really, really cool. Yeah, Charm by Sarah has a very unique style to her, and it
Hmm.
was something that I didn't really see, a lot of nail artists do, and
Yeah.
she created a style that was very, very out the box.
And
And
very like her, like you see her work and you're like, I know that's her work.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus it's a technique too, there's another nail artist named Eva, and she goes by Nails Up, but she's from France. So those two nail artists really exposed other nail artists another way of doing bling and plus charms by utilizing beads, but also using gemstones. So collaborating with those two mediums, and you can build, structures and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
it's because of them too. I think they really exposed other nail artists that technique, especially Charm by Sarah. Absolutely.
I'll have to check out Eva.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta send you her page. Her work's phenomenal.
Amazing.
Yes, absolutely. So I want to go ahead and really talk about. I asked every nail artist this. So if you had a top 5 list of your favorite nail artists, who would they be and why?
This one was mad hard, and I know you know that. Um, so Sarah was actually on my list again because like her style to me is like no one else's, and
Mhm.
like I because of a lot of the terms she uses, there's like a geometric factor to like the structure of what she's doing and like the shapes she's using. That to me, like she is like up there on like something that like I just love to look at her art. Um, Spiffster, her style,
Yeah,
very,
Spifster.
very cool. Very, very cool. Especially like you have to show respect to like the OG nail artists that have been doing cool shit for much longer than we've probably even been doing nails. Um, I do love, I have a nail friend who I was like kind of like a big fan of hers before we met in person. She goes by the Nail Mystic. Her name's
Mhm.
Ashley. Her style just like speaks to me. Like she does a lot of like geometric stuff, like all hand painted stuff, like just the way she combines like colors and layers and airbrushing, like the stuff that comes from here from her, like really speaks to me. Um, let's see, that was three. Was that three? Okay.
Yes, it's 3.
Um, I do like Tino Vo. He
Yes.
goes by Votino on Instagram,
Yeah,
but
Tino Bo.
yeah, I took a class from him, I think like 1 year ago, a little over a year ago. And
Okay.
he is like very sweet and innovative. And I love that he shares everything. Like he goes live all the time. The man has so many tricks up his sleeve and he just like willingly shares it with everybody.
Right.
And I think that is amazing. Like talk about the opposite of gatekeeping, and it's like it's him.
Right.
So like, and his style is like so elaborate. So he'll show you like 10 techniques in like one set. So he's just like mad talented, like in his own style. And like again, you know it when you see it, it's his, you know.
Right.
My last person is the editorial nail,
Like
Gracie.
Gracie J.
Yes. I think she's amazing. Her designs, like, they're usually like, on the more simple side, but what I really admire from her is like her business brain and
Yes.
like having watched her shift from like an in salon nail artist to content creator to like business minded lady to like having her whole ass press on business. Like, I admire that so much.
Yeah, the
So
evolution.
the evolution. So that is like why she's in my top five.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. Yeah, all those nail artists are very talented nail artists. You know what I mean? They're all unique in their own way.
That was a
Spifster's
really
very
hard question.
yeah, because there's so many talented nail artists and things like that.
Hmm.
Yeah, Gracie J, CHRMD By Sarah, Spifster, you know what I mean? And I think to me, some of the nail artists that you've mentioned that have been in this industry, I don't feel like they have gotten enough credit in regards to their impact. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
So I definitely believe and credibility is very, very important to me. You know what I mean? Because it's very important to give these nail artists, like especially like Astro Wifey, the Illustrated Nail,
Oh yeah.
the different nail artists that have been around since the Tumblr. Tumblr was big, and there's nail artists that had Tumblr pages. I
Yeah.
feel like some of those nail artists aren't really talked about or mentioned enough or given enough shine in regards to what they do, and especially creating innovative, techniques or styles and
Hmm.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Because like back in the day, like a lot of us weren't even one doing nails or two doing nail art. And like they've been
Mhm.
doing crazy stuff for like such a long time. It's like you gotta pay respect to the people who made it popular for us to have jobs,
Right.
doing cool creative nail art work.
Yeah, and especially expand in regards to like business and stuff.
Hmm.
Understanding more about the business end. And big ups to Gracie, because she's talked about the business side of being a celebrity nail artist and things like that, and talking
Hmm.
about different things, different aspects. So big ups to the nail artist you mentioned, and big ups to Gracie.
Hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to go ahead and really talk about the nail industry since we're talking about the nail industry. What are some things you like about the nail industry? What are some things also that the nail industry could improve on?
My favorite thing is probably the community. And lucky
Mhm.
for us, we're in the age of technology and the internet, and we can do amazing things like have a video chat with someone literally across the world,
Right.
and build these even like small communities of like internet friends where you support one another. Like the community to me is like, I think the cherry on top of like the whole industry of all things that are good.
Mhm. Yeah, absolutely.
Um,
What are some things you think the industry could improve on?
I think that's a tough question because like nothing really pops out into mind. Because I've really never experienced like the catty side of nails or like the shade talking. I think what can we improve on? I mean, I feel like new nail artists, I think it's a mindset thing that we can improve on because new nail artists want to be as good as people who've been doing it for 10 years. And then there's like this discouragement. And I think this could be said with like literally any industry, but like I feel like people see amazing work and then beat themselves up because they're not that good immediately, or think that
Mhm.
they're not, worth a higher price tag when they are doing amazing work and have been experienced for a couple of years.
Right.
I think we're still stuck in the mindset. I don't want to say the $25 full sets, but like I think we're still stuck in like the $40 gel manicure mindset, a lot of people, and I think a lot of newer nail techs have a hard time finding value in the good work that they're providing. So
Mm.
that's all I can think of now. I'm sure there's other things, but
Yeah, I think another thing too, like I said, back to what we was just talking about is credibility. I think that's something that's very, very important as well because what I've been hearing is that some nail artists are saying like, "Hey, this nail tech took, my nail set and just didn't, took my nail set and, nail art inspo and didn't credit me and some of that." So, some people are speaking out about, "Hey, there should be nail artists that should be giving credit to other nail artists and things like that." So credibility is very important.
definitely, especially like recently, there's been a lot of stuff going around about a certain like big company in New York City making press-ons that look very, very close to another nail artist press-ons, and they're monetizing from this design that is nearly identical to the original. So like, do we need to be better about crediting artists? Like if we've done work similar to theirs, absolutely. But then to go and monetize off someone else's design is like I think the worst thing you could do.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to also get into technology. So we're in a technology social media era.
Mhm.
AI is getting more prevalent. So what is your take in regards to AI and the advancement of tech in the nail industry?
AI and the nail industry. I think as far as being in the salon, AI in the salon. I don't know, man. We're not. Have you like the nail printer machines?
Mhm. Yep.
Not quite AI, but like those are interesting.
Yeah.
We have had clients show us pictures of nails that like you can definitely tell are like AI. So like that's an interesting
Mhm.
conversation to have that like, okay, well these nails like technically are not real nails. Um,
Right.
I do think there's a lot of content creators using AI to help them, write captions, or like if you're talking about like the content creation side of like having a nail business.
Right.
I do think there's a lot of like AI involved in content creation. If you're like
Right.
burnt out up here and you need some ideas, like I think that could be great. I do fear that in that kind of use, like we might lose our own voice. Like
Mhm.
if they're creating content for they if the AI is creating content for us, like do we lose our voice in that? But yeah.
Mm. Yeah. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
Honestly, I don't even know how to answer that because 5 years ago, I didn't think I'd be here now. So in 10 years, I would like to be educating more because like I did go to college to be a teacher. I love teaching. I love doing nails too, but like because I'm such like a community type person, like
Right.
I would love to be teaching. I don't know if it would be with a brand or whatever, but
Mhm.
um a mixture of like teaching and still doing like, my top clients.
Yeah, that's really, really cool. Last but not least, where can people find you on social media and how can people support you and your business?
On social media, I am Britt's Nail Bar. That's me as like my own artist and my clients. And then my entire salon was rebranded as the Nail Bar Collective,
Mm.
also on Instagram. Um, and the biggest thing you can do would be like to comment something nice if you like something or share it.
All right, that's really, really cool. Well, thank you so much, Britt, for jumping on for jumping onto the show. Your work is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much.
I got exposed to your work through, NTNA.
Cool.
Got seen that you were competing in it. So, just keep up with what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Spreading positivity and being yourself and exposing more of your nail style. So, this is a really cool conversation. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was so nice to meet you.
Yes, absolutely. Take care.
Thanks.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Hello, everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Be sure to click the bell for notifications. Also, follow me on my social media platforms and visit my website, ASIATHABIRD.com, and be on the lookout for more interviews to come very soon. Take care, stay healthy, and stay beautiful. Bye bye.